it literally, every single business conversation I walked into started with some sort of apocalyptic thing or someone afraid global warming's taking us all and we're all going to die next year, you know? This world doesn't belong to the strongest, to the smartest. It belongs to those who are willing to endure to the end. That's how you write a book, an author a book, a complete book, while, you know, running a business full-time, having a podcast, being married, happily married, 3 kids, full sports, as well as run 4 businesses.
So you can't be an expert at everything, and that's what I find. I find that, you know, it's stick to your skills and your strength, and if the weaknesses you have, well, try to, you know, find people that can complement it. The year-end special. So, you know, closing 2025 and welcoming 2026. What do you got to say, Malik, about this year?
Very, very exciting times. I mean, we went on this journey and attempted to create a podcast. And I like to use the word attempted because it definitely was not as easy or fluid as we thought. There was a lot of trial and error, but it was very exciting. We got to meet a whole bunch of guys. We got to learn a lot of things. Funny enough, you know, it was nice to walk in the mall 2 days ago and have someone stop me and say, "Hey, watched your podcast." I'm like, "Are you serious?" I was shocked. He's like, "Why'd you sound shocked?" Which, you know, and he's like, "Oh man, I really like the thing about quantum, and or I like this guest or the topic you guys had," which shocked me. You know, how did you find our year?
I thought it was an adventurous year. I mean, full of different types of, you know, podcast definitely was something that is new to us. It gets time to get used to it, but, you know, having the good guests that, you know, gives it some energy, I think is what's needed. And so we have a few good guests also lined up for 2026. So that's going to be very exciting. But if you had to sum up like 2025 in like one word, what would you call it?
The year of the rush. So much energy on rush projects. We were running from one place. Even our podcasts were always scheduled in the most rush times. We walked into rush setups. We were rushing things. I don't know the economic impact that came from all the things. I don't even know when it started and when it ended. I'm surprised we're in December, to be honest. But great blessing, honestly. Like it's a lot of blessings, more than I can ever imagine.
Yeah.
How did you find?
This podcast is sponsored by eSky, a revolutionary AI-powered state-of-the-art learning management system for small to mid-size enterprises.
2020.
Yeah, if I had one word, I would say it's a blessed year. Honestly, it was one of these very odd years where, like, and I'm not just talking for the podcast, also in life, where, you know, when you reach something, you think it's like the end, and then all of a sudden, God finds a way to find you a better path, and He's always finding you another way. And I've noticed that several times throughout the year. I think maybe this happens every year, but at least this year, I kind of observed it in a more clear way. So just the blessings that one after the other, which I think is really good. So,
I mean, look, we're closing the year, and we started the year, the trio of us, me, you, and Rian. Now, Rian being South African of origin, who have lived a lot of his life in Sydney, great blessing to have him with us. Honestly, do this podcast. He's in Sydney right now, and for sure can't have him with us. He's enjoying the beach, Bondi Beach, Manly Beach, surfing, doing all the fun things while we're playing in the snow. So man, I'm envious of you, but to make sure we're closing the year with each other, well, I've got a few questions for Rian between us so we can have him also close the year with us. We'll ask the questions. He kind of pre-recorded them. I wanted to blend it in, but here it is, full transparency to the audience. We asked him the question before, but here's the question. Rian, how did you find our podcast debut, which started in 2025? And how do you find it we've done so far?
Great question, Malik. I think it's been an amazing ride. 2025 has been an amazing year, and none of this would have been possible without, you know, Malik, Gabby, myself, but we thank our listeners who shared the videos, who watched us, you know, ramble on about stuff. And it's been a fun year. So all I can say is watch out and look out in 2026. And I think it's going to be a brilliant year.
Rian, what is your most memorable moment from our podcast that stuck with you?
Cancel.org redefining global consulting, delivering world-class solutions through proven methodology, measurable and sustainable results.
So talking about memorable moments, memorable moments to me on the show this year has been the teamwork between myself, Malik, and Gabby, and obviously our production teams. Everyone thinks it's easy to start a podcast and to produce it and edit the crap out of it. It's not. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes a lot of teamwork. And it's a labor of love at the moment. So yes, every time we've done a podcast, that's my favorite moment.
Last but not least, I'd like to know, what are your hopes for the podcast in 2026?
Hopes for the podcast in 2026, stars in our sky. My hope is that it absolutely explode, that we have millions of viewers and that people actually realize that we have a lot to offer and a lot of experience to share. But being realistic, my expectations and my hopes for the podcast is that we continue on as friends and businessmen and share our experiences with people out there that really want to achieve something great in life. Cheers.
Nice.
So Malik, if we reflect on 2025, I know there's so many things that went, and you said it was a very rushed year. What surprised you the most this year?
Look, the geopolitical situation around the world, I think 2-3 times we thought we're on the cusp of World War III, which, aside from being in a rush, I've never been through a year where everyone screamed apocalypse. AI is coming to get us. The robots are taking our jobs. It's World War III. Russia's going to come get us all. Iran is going to make us all explode. Islamic fundamentalists are going to... it literally, every single business conversation I walked into started with some sort of apocalyptic thing or someone afraid global warming's taking us all and we're all going to die next year, And here we are, 2026, here we come. We're all still here. I'm sure the year was hard for people. It was not easy for people on the Gaza Strip. It was not easy for people in Syria. I'm not making light of world events. I'm just saying it seems like from the beginning of 2025, including one of the things I never thought was going to happen, which is US-Canada relationship, right? Do we have tariffs? Do we don't have tariffs? Are we in good relationships? Are we sharing oil? Are we sharing oil? It was tumultuous, to say the least.
And what would you say mattered more or less than you expected?
I found it really funny how when it was convenient for certain tech modules to speak green, to make environment and global warming be the central point of everything they do, and then when it wasn't convenient, politically less expedient, Bill Gates came out and said, global warming is not the end all. We can relax this for a bit. Nothing.
Yeah.
And I thought it was, again, not making light of environmental things. And I do think we need to watch out for the earth. But I just think, I've seen some people, have meltdowns. You're killing our earth. And they're just like dying as if,
Yeah.
about
No,
to explode tomorrow.
there's misinformation. There's misinformation, just like the AI bubble, and people don't know if there's a bubble, there's no bubble. There's too many extremes in what's being thrown out there.
I would say I haven't walked, including today, and I was at a client meeting. I have not walked into any customer meeting where the employees are not murmuring about how they're going to lose their jobs to AI, and the management asks me, because they know I'm the techie guy, what's the latest AI trend? What can we implement? Right? And that's literally every day.
Yeah.
So if you don't know how to use your AI, we're going to reach out to any of us who can help you.
So one lesson from 2025, what that taught you?
This also shall pass.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good one.
Everything comes and passes. Pain comes, passes. Problems come, pass. Diabolic wars come, endure. This world doesn't belong to the strongest, to the smartest. It belongs to those who are willing to endure to the end.
Well said. Well said. So
How about
quickly, rapidly, if I ask you some things that you did in 2025, did you have more coffee or tea?
Oh, definitely coffee. I don't want to make commercials for the brand that I have, but I literally have like a machine right next to me right here that makes espressos. There's another one like less than 10 meters away I've got one in the office. I've got one on every floor in the house. Very little sleep, a lot of coffee, and that's how you write a book, and author a book, a complete book, while running a business full time, having a podcast, being married, happily married, 3 kids, full sports, as well as run 4 businesses. Coffee, lots,
Oh.
lots, lots of.
So would you say this year you're more on the planning side or figuring it out as you go?
Well, everything is relative. If we say compared to the last 5 years, no, there was a lot of planning at the beginning of the year and the end of last year, and more on the execution. So there's a lot of execution and going. Of course, when you're solving customer problems, you're walking into consulting and understanding before, and reacting to the reality of your customer.
So one habit that you're leaving behind in 2025?
At night, when I wanted to numb my brain, I would go on Instagram and do this, and then all of a sudden I'd see 20 minutes fly by. Of course, just watching monkeys run away with Visa cards, or some little kids in Africa make some really funny dances that I thought were really amazing and very talented. And then I realized, oh my God, I wasted 20 minutes. Yes, I needed to numb my brain, but I think there could have been more productive ways.
What about one habit that you're going to be taking into 2026 or starting in 2026?
Being more holistic. So watching out more for the quality time I'm spending with God, spending with Nardine, my wife, my kids, focusing on exercise. So I went on and off, not to my liking, the exercise. So I definitely want to focus on that, and boundaries.
Awesome.
Big goals for people I work with. So.
Nice. Big goals or small, consistent wins?
Oh, like I love extraordinary goals. I'd like to put to dream really big, and the bigger you dream, the more you can achieve. But I believe in celebrating small wins, right? Like we were talking about this with the team. I one of the biggest thing is, hey, tap yourself on the back, take the team out, celebrate. We were just doing that today. Doesn't matter the win. If it's a small, big, go celebrate. What about you? How was your 2025?
Go Lean It. Go Lean It offers a symphony of efficiency through lean services and solutions, driving scalable and sustainable results. Visit goleanit.com.
It's good. I'll tell you what I'm grateful for. Obviously, I think 2025, one of the oddest things that actually happened to me, and that's what happens when you're self-employed, right? You don't have a regular schedule, and so this was probably the year that I traveled the most, but it was also the year that I spent the most with the family, which is kind of like the opposite, right? But yeah, that's why I feel like it's such a blessed year, even though I was away as much as possible. But when you're away, obviously the support of the family has been huge, right? So my wife, and how she would take care of all of the chores and everything that has to be there to carry the burden. That was really big for me for 2025. But definitely 2025 volatile year.
Yeah.
Volatility was big, but very grateful for all the difference. What are you most grateful for?
I was afraid being an entrepreneur, having all the things, that I would miss hockey games and basketball games, that I would not be there for a lot of the kids' events. I think it was the exact opposite. I don't think I've missed many. I can count on my hands because of extraneous situations. I attended tournaments, go away tournaments. We went away. I even, my oldest son loves the Celtics. So we started the year by going to Boston and having just a road trip. So they're at the age where you can have quality time with each one. So each one of the kids I've had like a separate road trip with. I think that's what most people don't get. There's a big risk of going on your own. It's scary. Don't make anyone make you feel like they have it all under control. It's not true. But you take that leap of faith, and the goal is freedom. Your time. So let me ask you this, because I know this year, I guess, was, you've been on your own for a bit. How did you find that effect on your family and on you personally?
Well, I mean, The one thing that's for sure is that when you are doing something that is like a leap of faith and you're really depending on yourself, you find yourself also depending on God, and you end up really finding yourself relying on God, and things work out um, to the bettering for the family as we're going through this. So I think things worked out really well. Not, but I was more on figuring out on the go as opposed to planning. I mean, there's a lot of things that we did not know how it would turn out, and as you're going through it, doors open, and it keeps us going through the journey. But I think the best way to describe it is more like an adventure than it was, a boring, day to day kind of year for me. I think it was very much an adventure, and every day was a different kind of adventure. So it turns out well.
I think the reliance on God is something that, I mean, as you were speaking, that's why I had a smirk on my face, because that chaotic early stage phase of any startup. I remember my first hire in Egypt when I hired the guy, and I believe in full transparency. And young guy straight out of school, and he's like, I don't know. He's like, what are we gonna do next? I'm like, what do you mean next? He's like, how does my next year look like? I'm like, I don't know. I've got 3 months worth of your salary. He's like, and then, and he paused, like very eager with big eyes. And then me and you are going to be praying to God, because if he doesn't send another project, I don't fucking keep you.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
stuck around, and literally 3 weeks later, God sent the client and it carried him over everything. But it is that reliance, and you find yourself, you know, in the middle of the night, raising your eyes to heaven, saying, please provide. I've got people to provide for. I've got employees. I've got family, etc. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, there is some truth to all these stories that we heard about, like Moses reaching the Red Sea and then finding a way. And even if there's nothing in front of us and doesn't seem like it, but that's business. I think that's the life that we're living in, and that's the reality.
absolutely.
But next year, what are you trying to accomplish? What's something that you want to make sure that you get through in 2026?
I want to aggressively grow the business. Um, I really want the podcast to grow. So I'm asking all you guys, subscribe, pass it on to your friends, like us on YouTube, because that's what makes the algorithm work. Um, because I find this part of my journey where, one, I get to learn from people, and the other part is we get to interact and actually have fun doing it. I really enjoy this. It's a lot of fun. The second thing, I fell in love with reading and learning.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm really hungry for novelty, for new things. Philosophy, for some reason, really going into deep scientific things, being in technology. We live in an interesting era. I mean, the amount of technology, whether it's robotics, machine learning, quantum computing, uh, all the stuff that growing up as kids that we watch in the Marvel movies or these science fiction are no longer,
Mhm.
right? We have holograms, we have I mean, such interesting times. And I want to learn all these concepts. I'm actually at the point where I'm having fun. I go to work to play. It's enjoyable. Can't complain. Thank God.
Yeah, I think for me, I think I'd like to do a little bit more networking. I don't know about you, but it's sometimes we're so focused on the relationships we already have and trying to maintain it, as opposed to outreaching and expanding and looking for more. I'm a part of the Chamber of Commerce, so I think I should attend a little bit. Haven't even attended any of the meetings, so I
Really?
should attend ASQ. All of these networking events that can help kind of we could help other people for sure. So we need to at least show that attend these. So that's what I want to focus on 2020 26.
In 2025, what made the biggest support difference for you? What allowed you to do what you do when
Well, you and Rian definitely is having the systems around me, your support, your experience around me, um, and just being able to have good partnerships, with different partners, that helps, because what I don't have, capabilities that I don't have or don't have the time yet to develop. One of the best ways to grow is to kind of leverage on other people's capabilities, right? So you can't be an expert at everything, and that's what I find. I find that it's stick to your skills and your strength, and if the weaknesses you have, well, try to find people that can complement it. And I think I've done well in that area. But 2026, I want to expand that a bit more. But definitely, the partnership is the core of the business.
I love it.
Yeah.
Shamelessly plugging this in again. 2025 was the year I was asked to put in writing some of the experience playing to win. It's how to win in business and life, without losing your soul. Everything from how to know if you're made for business, to how to choose your partner in life, to what if you decide to build a business, what are the steps, when to embrace chaos, when to go. Received a lot of great feedback from those who have read it so far. The point was to help and support people who are actually curious about the life of an entrepreneur. So makes for a great Christmas gift. You can buy it on Amazon. Feel free, and let me know your feedback. So part of writing a book is the ability to crystallize your thoughts, and that was, I think, it was part of what made me rekindle my love and fire for reading again, because you have to do some research. You gotta go reread over and over, and there's something to the written word. I find it's kind of magical. The word puts your thought in action. The logos, it's something to be really considering. I actually, in 2026, I don't know if right away I'd like the sequel, but I'm contemplating if I actually really enjoyed the experience.
Nice. And for our viewers who are interested to purchase this, where can they go purchase it?
The book is available on Kindle. It's Amazon Kindle. It's available in hardcover, softcover on Amazon. And we will be releasing soon the audiobook. I'll keep you guys all posted once it's released.
All right. So to wrap it up,
it's been an honor to get to share the stage or the camera with, two wonderful consultants. One being my brother, Gabby, and Rian, who is like our brother from another mother. It's wonderful, the collaboration. It's wonderful, the support. It's even more wonderful, the different guests that we got to encounter, where they are in their life, what we're able to share with them. And we look forward to having many more. Our lineup for next year is going to be fantastic. We already have the next few episodes planned. Really excited to see what we can bring and what I can learn. Wish you guys all a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Take the time to stop, shut your phone, enjoy time with your loved ones, with your family, with those who mean to you. Because guess what? Work will still be there when you get back to it. So take the time to breathe. Even sometimes just a simple walk outside in the fresh air is wonderful. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
I would say be present, everyone. Be present with the family. I'm wishing everybody that you can grow in your faith. Know that next year is going to be better than this year. So be optimistic. We'll be optimistic in it. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Enjoy the time with the family, and re-energize and come back to 2026. Come into 2026 with a lot of energy, strength, and happiness.
Well,
and we will talk soon. And see you guys.
see you guys in 20.
Follow us at Stars in Our Sky.
Yeah. Goodbye. Stars in the sky, baby. See ya.
Yeah.